Depuis autant des vacances privées, si mon comme si la joie de vivre, qu'un bon soleil pour nous prendre un petit bain de mer, en vacances que nous comptons. C'est ça qui fait le vacances privées, n'oubliez soucis, chagrin, tout problème la vie. Nous passons plage, pique-nique dans tout petit bal, ambiance tout partout, musique à violer.
Another episode of the Caribbean Report. It's Friday, March the 21st now? Yes. Wow, and I just guessed. You know, these days fly together. But before I get started, I got to let you know, for the next 3 weeks, we are going to be off on break. Not just the show, but the entire station takes a mid-season break. So the plan is to show reruns of our show. But I know in the past there's been, I guess you could say, technical difficulties, and other shows have aired in our place. But if that happens, don't think we're off the air. We will be back on live the week of April the 13th. Whatever that Friday is, we will be back on live. So I just wanted to let everybody know that, and I'm going to repeat it before we go off the show today. But again, thank you for joining us. We're on live 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. every Friday, except for when we have a break, like I just mentioned. And you can also catch taped episodes on the website, myspace.com/Atlanta Caribbean Report. And let me just give a quick introduction because we have a lot we want to cover tonight. I'm one of your hosts, Dedrick Henry. We also have Clarke, who you will hear from very soon, and you see on the TV right now. And we have 2 doctors tonight. But stay tuned because it's not what you think. It's doctors in completely different specialties. I'll leave it like that. So you'll see what's going on tonight. But before I do that, I just want to do a quick recap of what was shown last week by Karen. And before I do that, it just reminded me of something. The reason you do not see last week's show on the website, for those of you who checked, is not because of our neglect. There's a problem with the hosting company that hosts our videos. We submitted it up, but for some reason it's not posting. So we're working through some technical difficulties right now. As soon as we get that situated, you will see last week's show and soon after this week's show. So without further ado, I have to let Karen tell us about last week's show and anything else she wants to say.
Well, what I would like to say is, hello, happy Good Friday. We are embracing the Easter festivities. And as far as last week's show, we had Peter Thomas here from Jordan Jones and Golding. I would like to thank him for coming and to tell us about his experience in Trinidad and Tobago. And another thing, good thing that's going on here, with the 2 doctors, you're going to be entertained tonight. You're going to get a lot of knowledge and entertainment. And you're going to say entertained by doctors? How you going to be entertained by doctors? Well, you'll find out. And with that, I'll let Dedrick say a couple more things.
Okay, well, you know, we don't waste time around here. We start off with a bang. So without further ado, we're going to have a performance by Dr. Lumba. Then we're going to have an interview. And then later on, stay tuned. You will see another performance. So as soon as the studio is ready with the music, we're going to kick this off. Okay, and until that time, again, remember to join us on the website, myspace.com/Atlanta Caribbean Report. And given the lineup that we have tonight, we may not be able to go into details of the news like we want to, but as most of you know who watch this program, if you go to the site that's on the screen right now, there's a link that says main news sources for the show, and that will give you all the news that you ever need. And don't just go there on Friday nights. There's news every day, multiple times during the day. Don't wait till Friday night to look at the news. So please stay up on the news. When we get this show expanded to a weekly show, a daily show, then we will have news every day. Now we're just waiting, and you know we have to make y'all wait for this. We can't just have the performance start off. We have to build the anticipation.
Yes, lots of love and thanks for the people right here at People TV. Come on! M-O-N-T, 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 among the volcanic activity. S-A-R-R-T, 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 also rat feel the severity. This combination creates an island, we call it the Emerald City. It's the treasury of natural beauty perched in the Caribbean Sea. Tough ordeals try to repeal and embezzle our tranquility. Jah Almighty, through His mercy, preserve His gem nature's jewelry. Known as paradise, this is a beautiful paradise. It's so nice. What a place, a lovely full place, full of energy and grace. I long to rest up in my nest and feel warm, flushness and zest. Come with it, yeah. M-O-N-T, 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 no fit minimal size me city. S-A-R-R-T, 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 reopens close boundaries. Accommodation for your vacation, from Alveston to Dredgeon City. Viewpoint Hotel, villas that's private, and the tropical mansion suites. Come experience the resurgence and realize the resilience of a people labeled simple, yet deserving an honorary medal for maintaining paradise. This is a beautiful paradise. It's so nice. The road of place, trying to disgrace our sovereign solace. Healing its grace, nevertheless, I know that we are blessed. Sweet, sweet silent sound of music and love you can feel right there in the Caribbean. Come on. M-O-N-T, 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 time to show its ability. S-E-R-R-T, 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 Lumba's got the audacity. With stipulations for those nations whom all the Emerald City, placing mimicry over ability, promoting false identity. I'm so discontented, I've commented on having Mount Paran accented. What least mentioned in 3 sessions, thus merging us among the League of Nations. Seedway paradise, an attractive paradise, that's so nice. Come take a taste of this heavenly place. Don't you let it go to waste. When you're distressed, to relieve your stress, rest your head upon her breast. Stop! Just wanna make you know what a place, a lovely full place, full of energy and grace. I long to rest up in my nest and feel warm, flushness and zest. Like the sweetness, feel the love. I wanna tell you, thank you people. Wanna make you know that love is all we got to show from above. When you come down to the island, let me walk on hand in hand and let me show you sweet sweetness. All the time it's no distress. Come along and get your out, let's go. You know it's nice and lovely. Come. Yeah. Right out.
And there you have it, performance number 1 by Dr. Lumba. And I got a million questions for you. I mean, I know a lot of these, but the audience know none of these. Well, I'm not going to say none, but a lot of them don't know. But number 1, Dr. Lumba, where does that come from?
From way, way, way back. It's like, well, like I said, I'm a doctor. I classify myself as a doctor because I'm able to make people comfortable. I'm an entertainer. I know how to make people have a good time, make them laugh when they're depressed. I could lift their spirits. And Lumba actually came from, my name actually is William. I'm very creative myself. So I changed it over to Walumba. I changed William and I made it into Walumba. You know, it comes with, you know, the Rasta thing and all of that. You got to make a name, an African name. And, you know, it was all of that stuff that
I really put together, I made William into Walumba. And then as I went on with the entertainment, I just cut it short and said, Dr. Lumba. You know, so it's a long story, but it, you know, and most people know me as Dr. Lumba.
That's right.
So
I know you for.
even use William.
I was about to say, I think not until we start corresponding through email did I know your name is William. Up until then, it was Dr. Lumba.
Yeah.
And another reason I have a big smile on my face is, now I haven't been on this show forever. This show been here from up to 15 years. But as far as I know, there have only been 2 people as far as guests on here from Montserrat. Okay. You and Desmond Brown, who is the president of the association here in Atlanta. So y'all know every week I plug in Montserrat, so it just feels good to finally have somebody on here as a guest.
It's very, I mean, ironic too, because Desmond is a very good friend of mine. We went to school together.
Wow.
So to hear that he was here, it's kind of really interesting, you know.
And I was going to say, not going into the history, because I try to give a little, I guess you could say, tidbits every week. Because most people that watch the show that's not from the islands always ask me, what is Montserrat? Where is Montserrat? Then they hear of the volcano. And that's one of the reasons, just to give a little background, I asked you specifically to perform that song, because whenever I get a chance, now let me back up. This program is about unity for all of the islands.
Exactly.
But of course, we'd be wrong not to say something about your own home island. So every week, I promote something on here about Montserrat. That's one of the reasons I had you perform the first song. Now let me ask you this. I tell people every weekend, I don't want to waste much time, but like I said, it's a Free Hills volcano. It was erupted originally in '95. There's been eruptions ever since, and the island population down, last I heard the estimate was 5,000. I know it dipped down to between 4,000 and 5,000 from originally 12,000. Let me just ask you, when is the last time you've been back to Montserrat, and what were the state of things when you went back?
I was in Montserrat in December.
Okay. Oh,
December
that's a good, and what happens in December?
December is the carnival. It's Christmas. It's a combination. Christmas, the festival. It's like, you know, from ever since, you know, I was a child. That's when our carnival is, during the Christmas time. Festivities, everything coincide with each other. So usually a lot of people that's over, you know, in these countries like America, England, and wherever, go back home, and this way you know, you could reminisce and you could meet with people that you haven't seen for many, many years. You know, that's the time. It's for people who want to really meet people and feel the trueness of what Montserrat was like. Christmas time is, you know, when you could really find a lot of people who have a lot of things that could really, they could input onto you, because most people, like you said, has migrated. Even, a lot of people had left before even the volcano. Right now, even when I was living there, that's the time that a lot of people used to come back home. For the festival. And that's when you have the calypso competitions, the queen shows, everything. That's basically the high season in Montserrat, as I should say. And it's funny that you mentioned the volcano. That song, it's actually built around promoting Montserrat. And yet I'm still trying to say, you know, because I was home in December, and apart from the knowledge that the volcano is there, really, there was no evidence. Really? Nothing happened.
Wow.
I actually went and viewed it because there's a telescope you could go and see it from, because it's like the zone is excluded. I even saw, I mean, vegetation returning on the hillside. So I was even hopeful that that's a signal that it's cooling down. But you cannot, like you got to follow the scientists and their lead, and because they're the ones in authority to tell you what is what. You know, they even I read recently, they let a few people back into the zone. But like I don't want to take up too much of the time. But like the song is saying, Montserrat, very tranquil, is very beautiful. I mean, they had shut out a few places, and I mean, they're opening up the place that you could, and this is a place you could go for vacation. If you listen to the lyrics of the song, you got to listen very keenly to get, it's a story being told in the song, really, you know. And I'm trying to say, come on, Montserrat, like you say, a lot of people don't.
They don't know.
Up to this day, I say I'm from Montserrat. Where is that? You know, I'm like, I gotta start saying Antigua.
Yeah. That's
names and, you know, it's funny, but I think I'm trying to say I would like to hear it mentioned. Because Montserrat, because lots of places you go in this world, and most places you'll find a Montserrat.
Oh yeah, and that's what's funny. That was funny. I was surprised when I ran to Desmond here in Atlanta, and then he basically introduced me to everybody else. Like, wow, is that many here in Atlanta? It really is surprising. And I know, Karen, you have a question, and you know I get happy on Montserrat, and we'll do this for an hour. So to sum up, as far as the tourism, please look Montserrat up. And if you go to our website, next to my name, there's a link to the Montserrat Tourist Board. And it said visitmontserrat.com. But if you can just go to our website, you don't have to remember that link. Just click the link after my name, and then you will be able to go to it.
Excuse me, let me say one more thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's very, you know, it's ironic that you said that, because we come here, and you being from the Montserrat heritage, it's like we just take over. It's like, once Montserratians meet, I'm going to tell you, so I went to Trinidad myself. When I was coming from Montserrat, I went to this lady's house, never saw her in my life. Okay. She heard I was from Montserrat. And from then, her Trinidad friends became strangers. She just started. We just did that. You know, so it's funny. Yeah. Montserrat has the kind of connection that I really, it's amazing. But yes, thanks.
Yes. What I would like to ask, you said you celebrate Carnival around Christmas time. Why is that?
Well, I don't know. That's what I meant.
It's
been like that from ever since. Yeah. And I don't know. I've tried to analyze that myself. It's funny that you thought of it, because I figured, I don't know. I guess it's something from years, history. I don't know if it came down from Africa, whatever, I don't know, or well, Montserrat have an Irish heritage.
Right, and we talked about that last week with the whole St. Patrick's.
Right now,
just finished.
Right now, Montserrat is St. Patrick's Day is being celebrated in Montserrat. It has had a week of activities. So Montserrat is very Irish. So I don't know which side it came from.
So it's laddie, right?
I mean, it's, you know, I don't know why they celebrated during that time, but a lot goes on. It's like setting, I don't want to tell you, you used to have like what they call the jumbie table and that kind of stuff. I don't know what is the link. I never asked. It was so much fun. I just enjoyed it, and I didn't have time to really try to ask why is it that it's that way.
And how different is the Christmas celebrated there, besides the carnival, but the Christmas celebrated there from here in the United States?
Well, here, the only thing that I think, well, mainly that they have in common is like there's a lot of gifts. And but in Montserrat, over here, I don't know Christmas is here. I don't feel it. In Montserrat, you can feel it coming. It's like you could feel it in the air. It's like in the music, the drums, everybody. And there's something that tells you, from a child, you could tell Christmas is coming. I don't know that Christmas is coming here. I just know it because the day comes and you follow the date. But that is all it is, the date. Over there, it's a whole different ball game. Like I said, you have this whole jumbie table. They set up a table, and it's like a whole.
And what is a jumbie table? What is a jumbie table?
A jumbie table is you put a lot of you know, they would kill animals, you know, whatever, you know, you have your meat and you have all kind of cake and all kinds of stuff made, and they put it on the table, and they're saying that, I don't know if it's in place, Santa Claus is coming, but it's supposed to be a jumbie to come, and that jumbie is something like ghost or whatever.
A ghost?
Yeah.
I know that, yes, because I just want to make sure that the jumbie that we thought of in Trinidad is the same jumbie meaning in Montserrat.
Yes, it's the same thing. And I mean, it's much different. There's a lot of, you know, a lot of dancing, a lot of celebration. You go from house to house. It's like, it's funny, we used to sing carols, go around and you sing. that kind of stuff. You know, I did it here once, and a lot of people from the Caribbean were like very receptive. They said they would like to see stuff like that, but you know, it's much different from here. I mean, the gift giving and the presents and the theory is sort of the same, but there's a lot more activity and there's a lot more emphasis put into it over there in Montserrat.
Okay. And I was going to say, just to add, I mean, here you look at things so seasonal. As soon as Thanksgiving ends, then that's Christmas season. But if you listen, like, for example, Radio Montserrat, with radio station that broadcasts out of Montserrat, you can get it online. If you listen at the beginning of November, it's going to be Christmas targeted. You're going to hear the music. You're going to hear the theme. I mean, from the beginning. Here, you won't hear about Christmas. After Thanksgiving end, then everything is Christmas.
Yes, right. You know, right when Christmas is coming down. Right, but like you said, December. I mean, people planning for Christmas in October. They're already making preparations, you know. So, and the festival, it just ties in. It ties in because there's a lot of masquerades. The people, you know, dressed up and they're dancing. They dance from house to house. There's a lot of music. So it's like, it's not only a day. Christmas here is a day. That's what I should conclude with. Exactly, you got a month of celebration. That's what it's all. It is actually goes over into the new year. People don't even want to end it when the new year.
I think that's why the people of the Caribbean, especially in Montserrat, look so young.
Well,
so good.
Yeah, they
in the blood.
Yeah, I mean, they relax. They you know, it's not, the stress is not, that level is not that high. Well, I mean, nowadays it's kind of getting a little different. I guess it's universal sort of, but you know, I don't know. I don't have, well, I'm a doctor, but I don't have those answers. Maybe
save it for the next doctor.
Save it for the next doctor.
But I think even myself, you know, we party, we're energetic. I guess the exercise.
But don't they say that music soothes that person? It soothes the savage beast. I heard that phrase. Yes. So therefore, it should keep us young.
Music
and
keeps
youthful.
you young. I think that's what happened me. I wouldn't tell my age. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I wouldn't tell my age, but I don't know who could guess it, because if my move, my dancing.
Yeah, I was going to say, what y'all saw tonight was a very tame
version
of what he normally does. So.
I saw this gentleman, Dr. Lumba. I saw him perform at the Panyard, and such an entertainer, fantastic. Yeah. And matter of fact, he won 3 years in a row. And it's probably going to be 4 years in a row soon. So you're going to have to come down in May to see him perform, and definitely. I'm going to make sure I mention it and promote it, and we put it on the website at www.myspace.com/Atlanta Caribbean Report. We're going to make sure that people come out there and see you.
Yes, that is something that I would like to see too. And like you're saying, the unity, we want everybody. It's good for us to come together.
That's the key.
And I mean, as a people on a whole, it's the Caribbean, yes, but as a people, Americans, everybody, we got to merge and become one, because, you know, like I said, it's life is short and we got to just love it.
We have to embrace it.
It's not promised. There's no promise, you know. And it's good when we all could come together and have fun and love each other, you know. That's very great. You know, I think that's practically, that's one of my songs, to show some love. We got to show love. And really.
I want to ask this question. Talk about love and having lots of fun. I know that Trinidad, a lot of Caribbean people from Trinidad tend to make fun and say Trinidad have the most vacation, the most holidays ever. Every day to be a holiday. Now, that keeps people kind of youthful and young and what have you. Yeah. Well, they work hard and they play hard.
Exactly.
All right. Is that the same type of atmosphere in Montserrat?
Yeah, well, I would say Montserrat have about 368 holidays. It's never
I want to move to Montserrat.
It's never ending. You know, it's like people, they were at work and they stop and they come in and they get a drink and they go back. They're working. They're doing your thing, you know, it's like fun. When I say it's not like if you're having, they would come down, if the person don't even drink, they would come and sit, and they'll take a malt, they'll take something if it's not, you know, they don't necessarily have to be alcohol, but they're free. It's like once the job gets done, there's no, you know, I'm not trying to say that they're not dedicated, but really they're freelance, like you said. They play hard, they have fun. During the lunch hour, they have their fun, and they go back to work, and it's like evening time, back to the fun. Tomorrow is fun, and every day is just fun. It's just fun.
Okay, so your message to our audience, how do we learn to have that fun? Because we are so conditioned here to run, as people will call it, a rat race. And we just work, and we try to strategize. How could we, you know, be successful, and, you know, how we can make more money, and how we can be better providers for our family. A lot of our stresses these days are focused on those things. So coming from a doctorate, your doctorate background, what is your advice to our audience?
Well, my advice would be, it comes back to what we're talking about, unity. Because if we work together, there's power in numbers. If you stay on an individual basis, it makes it difficult. If you have this rug to move, and the three of us take it up and move it, it becomes like that paper that I'm moving. If I'm moving it by myself, I'll be falling down. Now, if three of us come together and move it, it's a whole different ball game. The weight is lifted because we work together. Unity, that's what it is. And back, if you even look, I remember when we were growing up, everyone belonged to the same family, sorta. You know, your mother would leave you with that family. I'm going on, sometimes she don't even leave food to say whatever goes there is shared. And when it's your time, you do the same. So I think it all boils down to unity, and we got to work together.
Okay, so basically, it takes a village to raise.
That's the point.
Exactly. Okay. It takes a village. And that is what is happening today. Most people want to make it individual.
So we are on an island, standing alone.
Alone. That is the problem. I think, from my perspective, and I study these things a lot, I think about it a lot because I see it and I saw the changes that came about. Even with people that came from home, they come here, can't even have time to talk because there's too much. Yes. But because we don't, I think if we work together, it makes it easier. You know, I could give you an idea, you could give me an idea. And that is help. That would, you know, ease the stress. There's a lot of things we can do, you know. But coming together is the key.
That's the key.
That's the key. Love is the key.
Now, going back to music, out of Montserrat, of course, Errol is a famous calypsonian out of Montserrat. What influence has he had on you?
Well, I mean, Errol, energy. Energy. I knew him from before, well, very, very young.
Okay.
And I saw him performing. I've been to a couple of shows, even when he comes here. I got a lot of his music. He has energy. I mean, when he performs, he's all over the place. Right. I mean, he involves the crowd. He goes in the crowd. He might bring someone in. I mean, he has been, I mean, his songs even are very, you know, they have a story to tell. That's another thing. With his songs, there's a story.
Right.
You know, you could follow him and get something from what he's saying.
So you're not just being entertained, you're being
educated at the same time.
Wow. Now, I hate to cut this. We're out of time already. I can't believe this. Like you said, with Montserrat, we can talk for...
And time flies when you're having fun.
But we definitely want to have you do another performance. I'm not sure if we have time before the break. Well, I hear the music. We're going to have to do it immediately after the break. We will have another performance. So stay tuned. And then after that, we will have another doctor, Dr. Evans. Stay tuned. Please pay attention to these PSAs because they are, I cannot stress how important they are.
Tired of the mudslinging? Tired of being told who to vote for? At Project VoteSmart's unique research facility high in the Rocky Mountains, hundreds of volunteers have gathered to investigate issue positions, backgrounds, and campaign contributors on over 12,000 candidates fighting for your vote. This year, get the facts, not the rhetoric. Help us change the face of democracy. Don't just vote, vote smart. Call our researchers toll-free at 888-VOTE-SMART or visit us on the web at vote-smart.org.
We're fighting diabetes, one step at a time. Join thousands of walkers across the country to raise money for the American Diabetes Association. Join America's Walk for Diabetes. Get involved. Form a team. Bring the kids. Walking is good for your health and great for the cause. Call or log on today. Together, we can find a cure. One step at a time.
Welcome back, and in just a few minutes we're going to start with our next performance. Actually, I believe we're ready now. So I guess, Dr. Lumen, you can go ahead and take your place. Okay, we're almost ready. We're almost there. We want to make sure that all the audience makes it back into the studio. They try to take a quick break, and they haven't got back yet, and everybody's trying to rush back in to take their seats. So as soon as that happens, we will get on with the performance. Now, during the break, Karen and I were just talking. Actually, she brought it up. I don't give credit where it's due. When we were talking about the subject on unity. Well, let me let you say it.
Well, the speech that Obama had this past week.
Okay.
It was very enlightening. It touched everyone's heart because he touched on a subject that a lot of people do not really talk about or do not bring up. And I think politicians, they don't want to touch it because it's very touchy. But he is such a good speaker. The way he just embraced everyone and talk about unity, that we are the melting pot. You know, Hispanics, he talked about everybody who has come here to the United States has faced some type of adversity. And we should come together because we are Americans. Right, so those of you who have not seen that, if you go to YouTube or any of the video sites, it's up on it. You can find it anywhere. But without further ado, we're going to let Dr. Loomer, because he has to get on and perform. They're filming a video tonight, so he has to get to the video shoot. But we'd like to have him go ahead and get this performance in if possible. So, Dr. Loomer, whenever you're ready, they'll start the music on your cue.
Okay, thanks again. Show some love to your friends, neighbors, brothers, and everyone around you. Come on. Yeah. Show some love to your friends, neighbors, brothers, and everyone around you. Let's try to make the world a better place to be. Show me the love. Show me the love. Yeah. Implementation of new leadership policies. Open doors to more invasive strategies. United Nations convene without resolution. Scientific quest yield no solution. Vaccinagogues cry out for help from above when the world just needs to show some love. The racisms and recapture, prosperity and grandeur. What the world needs is to show some love, unconditional love. America, while you are trying to save the world, your own children dying. Superpowers, you've got to keep calm. No one will be saved by presenting arms. World leaders, I said listen keenly. To secure your nation, love is their key. Evangelical ministers, collection emphasized. Won by your congregation, eternal life. We must love your God more than all else. Brothers, sisters, neighbors, as ourselves. Love, love, love is his final commandment. Personal opinion shouldn't matter none. It won't tell when all is said and done. Court litigations over ownership boundaries. Evens the score for some intrusive liberties. Brick-pointed mansions, the goal no longer salvation. Photogenic dress, zeal for more delusion.
Rest assured, despite all the luxuries we have, what the world needs is to show some love. To curtail all of the stress and retain righteousness. What the world needs is to show some love, unconditional love. America, while you are trying to save the world, your own children dying. Superpowers, you've got to keep calm. No one will be saved by presenting arms. World leaders, I said listen keenly. To secure your nation, love is the key. Evangelical megastars, collection emphasized. Won by your parishioners, eternal life. We must love the God more than all else. Brothers, sisters, neighbors, as ourselves. Love, love, love is His final commandment. But all up in a shouldn't matter none. It won't help when all is said and done. Deterioration of the respect among families often holds some abusive personalities. From courtship, relationship turn wedding day. Honeymoon night, a divorce is on the way. No Dr. Phil can turn a serpent into a dove. What the world needs is to show some love. Family virtues forever lost because we find it too hard a task. On a whole, to show some love, unconditional love. America, while you are trying to save the world, your own children dying. Superpowers, you've got to keep calm. No one will be saved by presenting arms. World leaders, I said listen keenly. To secure your nation, love is the key. Evangelical ministers, collection emphasized. Won by your congregation, eternal life. We must love the God more than all else. Brothers, sisters, neighbors, as ourselves. Love, love, love is His final commandment. Personal opinion shouldn't matter none. It won't help when all is said and done. Love, love, love is His final commandment. Love the God more than all else. Brothers, sisters, neighbors, as ourselves. Love, love, love is His final commandment. Personal opinion shouldn't matter none. It won't help when all is said and done. Love, love, love is His final commandment. Love, love, love is His final commandment. Love, love, love is His final commandment. Love, love, love is His final commandment.
Well, I'll let you.
Fantastic. I was asking, how do we heal? Well, he just gave us the answer. If you listen to the words, he's saying how to heal. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. If I was not hooked up, I would be dancing. If I was not hooked up, I would have been dancing.
Show love, unconditional love. Love is the key, the final commandment. Man, we can do a whole show on that. I know we're running out of time and we have to get Dr. Evans on, but wow, this just so keep watching, everybody. Dr. Numa will be back. He will be back on this show. And you saw his website, his email address at the bottom of the screen. But any further questions, contact us. We'll get you any information on it, any upcoming shows and so forth. But thank you again for being on. It was a pleasure to finally have you.
Thank you. Fantastic.
Thank you, Anna. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. All right, again, that was Dr. Luma. If you check out our website, we will have more information on them. And coming up in a few minutes will be Dr. Brandon Evans. And you have I hate to say unique link because you know how people's minds start to wonder when I say something. but let it wonder. But anyway, you have a unique link with him. And in a few minutes, he will be coming in. And let me let you do a short introduction while he comes in.
Okay. This doctor, holistic doctor, is a chiropractor, and as well as he deals with nutrition. He goes the extra, whereas when he does his diagnoses, he puts you on a health management system, okay? And because he goes to the root of the problem, okay, and help to build you back up, because it took years to bring you at that level, because most of the time we ignore certain symptoms, and we just you know, think of it, oh, this is normal, but it really isn't. It's our body sending us messages. So what I have to say is this gentleman, you know, you need to have him in your life. He is very good at what he does, and any information you need, he can give that to you. You know?
And I just wanted to say something real quick. Some of you back on February the 1st may have saw him on here.
Right.
The reason he's back are, well, number one, even if everything went smoothly, we didn't have enough time to cover everything. But we experienced some technical difficulties during that day, and I know you weren't able to hear a lot of the things that he said. So we wanted to bring him back because what he's saying is very important, so we want to make sure you're able to hear it.
Yes, he has a lot of information now, especially with people are being diagnosed with having diabetes, weight issues, the foods, we eating a lot of fast food. So he's here to help, you know, put us on track. And with that, I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Evans.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be back again. Pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for joining us again.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Dedrick, you should have a wealth of questions for him. I'm going to let you ask him some questions.
Well, the very first question, which I know our audience wants to know, holistic health. What exactly is that? That's the first question in most people's minds.
Well, primarily holistic health is following the premise that the body is one unit.
Okay.
That also drugs and surgery are not the first response to when someone has an ailment or a symptom. And as Karen mentioned earlier, the true way to help to heal the body is to find the root cause, the underlying reason why a problem or a health issue is there. Because if you continue to just treat symptoms, you'll go on a roller coaster ride with how you feel. And things will get better, they'll get worse, it just goes up and down, and nothing is really happening. And so holistic healthcare just takes a more well-rounded approach, in my opinion. It's a more natural approach to helping the body heal itself without invasive drugs, without harmful surgery to correct the problem.
Okay, now I noticed you said holistic should be the first approach. How am I going to put this? What response or what feedback do you get from medical doctors on that? Because, you know, I'm sure they feel their approach is the first approach.
Sure, that's true. Let me, before I answer that question, give you a little bit about my background.
Sure.
It's a long answer to a short question, but I did spend about 5 years of my career working in the pharmaceutical industry.
Really?
And so I do know a bit about both sides of the fence.
Okay.
And there is some rift, and there is a gap between how alternative practitioners handle health problems and how medical doctors handle health problems.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, there is a very powerful triad going on in our society, and it deals with medical doctors, insurance companies, and pharmaceutical companies. And they have to work hand in hand in order to, you know, continue capital gain, okay? Not to say that people's health care isn't involved, but there is also a lot of money involved in that as well. And so the gap comes because if people were to prevent illness and do things that would prevent surgery and prevent health problems, then all those medicines would not be needed. And we do live in a capitalist society, and so there is a lot of lobbying power that goes along behind the medical associations and things of that nature. And so when a medical doctor goes through education and goes through their schooling, they are taught how to handle problems by giving medication.
Okay.
Where there is nothing wrong with that, okay? That's what they're taught and what they're trained to do. Now, when a doctor of my profession as a chiropractor goes through school, when the bridge is crossed in regards to learning the basic sciences, and when we start getting into how to handle cases and how to treat patients, we go in a different direction, and we start to learn how to handle things in a more natural way. And so there's a gap. There are some medical doctors who are acceptive of what we do, but you have to understand that according to everything that they have learned, that is going completely against the grain for their profession. You know?
I would like to ask this question. Years ago, when I was a child, and even before that time, people had the approach more of a holistic approach. But then it comes to modern technology interceded. All of a sudden, with these with these advances, then you have more synthetic drugs. Before, they used to use more medicine. The root of most medicine is natural. right? But now they're adding more synthetics, and that's what's really more harmful, and it does side effects. So what you're doing is you going back to the beginning of how we were really treated.
Absolutely, absolutely. Medicine and the fancy techniques that if you were to walk into a hospital emergency room are fairly new on the time scale, you know, and people have been sick and have had problems dating back to the beginning of man. And so there were many, many years when, you know, there was only natural ways to help handle problems and handle ailments. And you mentioned synthetics. Those synthetic medications, synthetic vitamins, chemicals that are in the food, they all play their role in bringing about some of the issues that plague our people today. It's just a very subtle way of causing problems, and so it doesn't get a lot of attention and it doesn't get a lot of press, but it's definitely been researched. The information is out there. If you were to dig in and look for it, you will find, you know, a lot of information actually. And so, so yes, it's very harmful.
One of the reasons why my vocabulary is a little extensive, the last time when I we had him on air, I decided, let me go on to a health management system. And Dr. Evans is my physician. Okay. And, and the diet, I have to tell you, it's really hard. It's hard because sometimes I do sneak. But in order, you have to do a full detox to try to help your body. You know, you have to kind of clean it and purify it, and then you start putting in proper nutrition into your body so that to help rebuild it. So right now I am at the stage of rebuilding, and I have lost some weight, but I have sneaked a little bit, so I did not lose as much weight as anticipated. Yes, yes. You can't drink any alcohol, no wine, nothing like that. And I haven't done that. It's just, you know, that pizza. I should not have had that pizza last week, people. Don't feed me any more pizza. You know, but as I'm saying, audience, I mean, this is very good. You feel lighter. You feel a lot more energetic. You feel more positive, a lot more focused. You could deal with things a lot clearer. So that's from my opinion. You can go out there and do your investigation, and you can also speak with him. You could email him, and that information will be on our website, and his information will be posted as well, so that if you want that information, you know, talk to him. Right now, kids out there are being diagnosed with ADD, with obesity, and all you need to do is change their nutrition. We're quick to be labeled, you know, because I think it's easier for us to get by. Oh, okay, that's a quick fix. And you give them a drug and it's pacified. But we have to really go to the root of the problem. And with this, I'm going to pass it on to Dedrick, or anything that you would like to say.
Yeah, I was going to say, you made a point how holistic, I guess you could say healthcare, years ago was the technique. And now it's changed more to, like we said, medical professionals. Do you see that changing back to the trend of holistic healthcare, or is it staying stagnant, or what direction do you see it going in the future?
It's actually making a big switch back to a more natural approach. Okay. And a lot of that has to do with a lack of positive results from the medical model. Okay. And a lot of people have lost family members who have had many different types of, maybe they started off as one ailment, maybe high blood pressure, for instance, and then their doctor gives that person medication to handle the blood pressure. 6 months down the road, blood pressure may still be the same, so the doctor says, okay, we got to do something else and give you, increase your dosage. And then the person, you know, a little bit after that says, well, you know, I've got this problem too, and then the doctor has to counteract and give another medication to balance out the side effects from the first medication. And the story just continues until that person is no longer with us. I see it and hear about it all the time. And so that is definitely a problem. That is definitely a problem that's out there. It's definitely something that needs to be addressed, but there are a lot of people who are now becoming more aware of trying to prevent these problems from happening, and by still using natural ways and natural approaches to handle their health issues. And if there's someone who can't do a full program, you know, like what Karen is doing. She had mentioned the diet being difficult and things like that. Those types of things aren't for everybody, you know, but you still should do something. Even if you think that you're healthy, there are still things that you should do to maintain that good health that you feel is there. And so it's not always about having to fix a problem that you consider a problem. It's more about preventive care and maintenance care so that a problem doesn't arise.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so something I would like to say. We've been so conditioned. I mean, okay, the other day, you know, seeing those pastries, I mean, it looks so good. You want to eat it, you know. And we're so conditioned to have those comfort foods, and that's what it is. It is a comfort food. It makes us feel good, but it has no nutritional value.
I was going to say, not to cut you off, but I know that's what I just did, but something just came to my mind. Where are those positioned in the store?
Oh, right there near the cash register, some of them. Okay, I mean, the International Farmers Market, oh gosh, they got some really nice
So I'm just saying, it's fun when you come in and when you go out. You can.
Yeah, you see it, you know, and your taste buds, and most of the times when we go do our food shopping, we're actually hungry, so you know, that is like, okay, I want it and I have to have it. But it takes discipline, and the thing about it is, if you really want to be healthy and you know something is wrong, you will make that change, because I was actually making a change with my diet before I met Dr. Evans.
Okay.
You know, because I knew that something is wrong. I'm getting older, and there's too many, you know, allergies, for instance. You know, your body, when your immune system is weak, you are more susceptible to have various allergies, and to continue, it manifests itself, and it grows and it grows and it gets worse and worse. And all you do is, you know, you take your allergy pills, your Benadryl, and next thing you know, you take something else. And what I want to do is, I don't want to take a bag full of medicine anymore. I don't want, you know, I need all that money for my gas tank. You know, so why not make that sacrifice and change and eat healthier?
And I was going to say, a lot of viewers, and that's why I feel it's important to bring this up, a lot of viewers may look at holistic alternative healthcare as just targeting diet or certain areas. There's actually a wide spectrum of, I guess you could say, health areas that is covered. Would you like to expand on some of those for our viewers?
Sure. The holistic approach, basically, you know, I hesitate to say they can handle anything, but it's not designed to cure a specific thing.
Okay.
The holistic approach is designed to give your body its best ability to fight off any ailment or any problem that arises. Okay, and so when your immune system is functioning properly, your body is just going to be more resilient. So when things like the flu come around, you know, people around you may get sick for 7 days, whereas if you are in a position where you should be, maybe you only get sick for 2 days, you know, things like that. And so when someone is out for, you know, a long period of time because they've got illness X, Y, Z, or their allergies bother them all the day and all the week, whereas if you are taking care of yourself and you do preventive measures, then maybe you might just be sick for a couple hours. You know, things like that occur that just help to improve your quality of life. And so, of course, there are some things that you do have to go to a medical doctor for. Some people do need surgery. Some people do need to take the medication. All I'm saying is that holistic healthcare doesn't put that as the first response to a health problem.
Okay, so if there's one key I can say about this, people, please explore your options. Don't just walk into a medical office or a medical doctor and they say, okay, we need to do this. Don't just jump at it. At least explore the holistic healthcare option. See what there is to say. I mean, what is it going to hurt? It can only help. So please definitely explore that.
Also, another thing I'd like to ask you, do you work in conjunction with another, you know, doctors as well, who is a surgeon? Do you, so if someone you're working with, you know, you cannot help them to the best of your ability, what you will say is, hey, I have someone I can refer you to. Do you work hand in hand?
Absolutely. I work with doctors of all different specialties, ranging from oncologists to help with cancer problems, podiatrists, rheumatoid, you know, doctors to help with people with severe arthritis. And if I have a patient, a lot of times they have already been seeing their other practitioners, and they come to me looking for a more holistic approach, and it's just a matter of me picking up a phone or sending a letter to that other person, to that person's other doctor, saying, you know, I'm seeing your patient. This is what I'm doing. I'd like to know what you're doing, and we work together to help that individual get better. It's not a not a thing where I'm trying to dominate over how this person needs to get healthy. My concern is just get healthy. And if you come to me because you want a more natural approach, then that's what I'm going to help you do. As far as my scope of practice is going to take me. And then if there's something that I can't handle, then I, you know, of course, I'm going to honor the patient's health and put that first, and then refer them to the right person. Okay, now I know we're within the last 5 minutes already, and the control room told me that there's going to be another performance, if I'm not mistaken. That I was told that just now? Maybe not. Well, if so, then we'll be informed later. But I know we're in the last 5 minutes, so I want you to be able to have an opportunity to mention or discuss any point that we haven't discussed yet that you really wanted to get out, if there are any. Well, there's a wealth of information out there. It would take, you know, I could come back many times and talk about a bunch of different things. But I guess the main thing is like you touched on just a few minutes ago, is that it's all about education. It's all about knowing that you have options when it comes to your health, and that people need to take more investigation in their health and not just go with the first thing that is recommended to them by their doctor. You should get second opinion. People get second opinion on their car being repaired. They, you know, they get second opinion on something they should do, calling friends, family on advice for basic things. And I was going to say, on that point, shouldn't your body be more important than your car? Exactly. So I don't understand that.
There's something that's nodding at me that I want to ask you. Is there something, these days we have so many different chemicals in our house. Is there something out there that we use, you know, that you say, please people, remove those things out of your house? Because I'm listening to, you know, things such as these chemicals are no good for us and it could retard our immune system. Is there something that you could say to us that can help us to be a little more aware as consumers? There are quite a few things that are inside the house or around the house that cause problems. The major one is actually going to be prevalent because of springtime. The chemicals that people spray on their lawn, you know, to make the grass greener and look pretty. That's very harmful. That's why they don't allow kids or your pets to be around it after they spray it. Inside the home, you've got things like air fresheners that cause problems, especially the ones, you know, some people have those automatic ones that just spray. Yeah. Okay, that's actually, not the best. That's the best thing for you. I was about to say. Yeah, those air fresheners. Really? You know, if you want to freshen air, you should just use candles or incense. Things like that are going to be better for you. I love incense too. Yeah, that's fine. I was going to say that's all I used to do. I said, let me switch it up and use the automatic one. I'll give you some of my incense. Okay, thanks. So those can be harmful. Mostly it's the cleaning products actually that cause a lot of problems in people's homes. What is the best? Somebody swore by bleach. Clean everything, you could use bleach. You don't need anything else but bleach. Is that? Well, bleach is still a harmful product too. There are plenty of products that are out there that are made with natural ingredients. And if somebody wants to know about it, there's a list of things that I could send to people. You can just send me an email at info@detoxdoc.com, and I'll furnish that list for them, because there's a lot of items on there. Okay, well, I have to say one more thing. There's somebody that I know who told me that you could take bleach, and clean your meat with it and cook it. And it kills the germs. And you could gargle with a little bit of bleach or water. Oh, yeah. I heard that. Now, I heard about that, and I'm like, really? And, you know, I don't know if they were trying to tease me on that, but I've heard of that. Yeah, there's a lot of things out there, but I wouldn't recommend to do that. Not to cut you, but I hear the music playing now. The information is on the screen. You can contact them, or you can definitely come to our website and get this information. Again, at myspace.com, Atlanta Caribbean Report. And remember, we will not be on live again until the week of April the 13th, or whatever the Friday is of that week. So if you don't see reruns of our show between that time, don't worry, we have not been cut from the station. We will be back on during the week of April the 13th.
Thank you for joining us. Again, we're on every Friday night, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. live, and you can catch us on the web at the site that I mentioned earlier. And Karen, I have to turn it over to you.